Greetings, Legendary readers. Welcome back to Larry's Legendary Library. Unless it's your first time, then welcome to Larry's Legendary Library. I like to read, collect, and talk about science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Today, I have a pretty good-sized book haul, about 36 books that I picked up from a local library sale. And they're all fantasy. So for you fantasy fans, I've got a bunch of Dragonlance, I've got some Forgotten Realms, and I've got Warhammer, and then I also have some Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan, and then I'll end with L.E. Modesitt Jr. So without further ado, I've tried to put these in order as best I can. Dragonlance Heroes Volume 1, The Legend of Huma by Richard A. Knack. And then Heroes Volume 3, Weasel's Luck by Michael Williams. So it looks like I'm missing number 2. And then Heroes 2, Volume 1, Kaz, the Minotaur by Richard A. Knack. Heroes 2, Volume 3, Galen Benighted, Michael Williams. Preludes, Volume 2, Kendermore by Mary Kirkhoff. Preludes, Volume 3, Brothers Megere by Kevin Stein. Preludes 2, Volume 1, Riverwind, The Plainsman by Paul B. Thompson and Tanya R. Carter. Preludes 2, Volume 2, Flint the King by Mary Kirkhoff and Douglas Niles. Preludes 2, Volume 3, Tanis, The Shadow Years by Barbara Siegel and Scott Siegel. Kindred Spirits, I'm not sure what these go with. Mark Anthony and Ellen Porath, The Meetings Sextet, Volume 1. Wanderlust, The Meetings Sextet, Volume 2, Mary Kirkhoff and Steve Winter. Dragons of Spring Dawning, Chronicles Trilogy, Volume 3, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Dragons of Summer Flame, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. And then these, I think, are a mix of series. The Gully Dwarfs, The Lost Histories, Volume 5, Dan Parkinson. The Doom Brigade, the Chaos War series, Margaret Weiss and Don Perrin. The Cataclysm, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, Roger E. Moore, Douglas Niles, and more. I guess this is, I wonder if this is a series of stories. Yes, it's a Looks like an anthology. Dragons of a Fallen Sun, War of Souls, Volume 1, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Okay, now some Forgotten Realms. I think this is a set, or at least the first 3 are a set. Book 1 of the Dark Elf trilogy, Homeland by R.A. Salvatore. Book 2 of the Dark Elf trilogy, Exile, R.A. Salvatore. Book 3, the Dark Elf trilogy, Sojourn. And then Realms of the Deep, The Threat from the Sea, edited by Philip Athens. And then some Warhammer. Witch Hunter. Looks like this is a series of 3 stories here. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Witch Hunter, Witch Finder, Witch Killer. C.L. Werner. The Chronicles of Malice Darkblade, Volume 2. Dan Abnett and Mike Lee. Pretty awesome cover. Warhammer 40,000, Death or Glory, a Caiaphas Cain novel by Sandy Mitchell. Caiaphas Cain, Hero of the Imperium, another Warhammer 40,000, Sandy Mitchell. And then I've got some Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I have the first one, or I previously had the first one, and maybe 1 or 2 others. Here I picked up, I think it's, number 9, 10, and 11, I believe. Yeah, book 11. So Winter's Heart by Robert Jordan. Crossroads of Twilight. Knife of Dreams. And then I'll end with L.E. Modesitt. The Soprano Sorceress, first book of the Spell Song cycle. The Spell Song War, the second book of the Spell Song cycle. And I think these are all novels in the saga of Recluse. I think there's a bunch of these, I don't know, 20 or so or more. Looks like I have 5 of them here. Towers of the Sunset. The Magic Engineer. The Order War. Fall of Angels. And then last but not least, the Chaos Balance. Have you read any Dragonlance or Warhammer, L.E. Modesitt? Any of these I need to push to the top of my TBR? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and stay legendary.